Good evening. Actually, today the discussion is regarding the next subject, public administration and governance. So this is when it comes to APPSC syllabus, this PubBad is also there. In for UPSC, it is an optional paper. So now, as already discussed regarding pattern, rankers list, all this is you people are aware. So I am going to my, it's already discussed. So I will be going to the syllabus area. So if you see, first part is purely public administration related topics. That actual strategy I have already explained with respect to polity is that we will be discussing based on the PYQs and the themes which has the probability to come in the paper only. So here in Civic Center, we actually follows this reverse engineering strategy. In that, it's a very vast syllabus. We have to predict the themes and sub-themes and all verticals with respect to the subject based on the PYQ analysis only. So now with respect to that, you people may be knowing that we have already released our PYQ book. So this book is compiled purely based on PYQs, which is collected from all nearby PSCs and previous year questions of Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission. The thing is like the strategy which is adopted by most of the PSCs in South is that they will be focusing on the major themes and the verticals which are there in the news for the last 1.5 or 2 years, and evergreen topics. Such kind of strategy they are adopting. So this strategy only we are going to adopt in this class section. Some areas, some of the themes are static that you people have to study, and value addition and question enrichment with respect to examples. That is the area you people have to work upon. In classes, certain guidance and directions will be given. Based on that, you people have to prepare and enrich your answer, because it's very competitive. Whoever comes with better examples, better approaches will fetch more marks. That is up to you. People have to prepare. We will be guiding properly. Okay. Now, with respect to analysis of the syllabus, meaning, nature, and scope of public administration, that's purely static area, where, as you all know, administration, public administration, when it comes to public administration, it is like how the country is governed or a system is governed. Not only India, in every part of the world, you can feel that administrative setup mechanism, which may be varying in different degrees and different styles, but the purpose is to achieve a common goal for the society. So with respect to this subject, administrating the subjects is like the citizens and their welfare is the primary objective of the Indian state. Indian state, we have established a welfare state, and this system which we are experiencing today, it doesn't came suddenly. It has an evolution process over which the system is evolved. So this area is mostly with respect to, even though it looks like so static, it is more Indian centric. So we have to connect it with our experience and how the system. So every examples, everything should be reflecting the best practices in India. So meaning, nature, and like these areas like how the management, difference between management, organization, public administration, how this are interconnected. So all these are static area which will be dealt in the class in detail. So the questions which can be expected from this area is purely static questions with examples and substantiations. So that is with respect to the first part. Evolution in India, public administration. here is the how we came to the present system. It's a historical evolution. If you see from this Indus Valley civilization period and all, there are evidences of varying degrees of administrative systems and the way society is administered with respect to Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, evolution of various kingdoms, Mauryan Empire. All this has put some trace with respect to the present day system which we are experiencing now. So we have a history, vast history, where we got administered by various religious administrators, which they have a different social view, religious view. So all that has impacted in the administration of the country as a whole. So now with respect to specifically, it is given in the syllabus with respect to administrative ideas of Kaudilya's Arthashastra. Why this is relevant means this is a role model for majority of ideas the present day the state is adopting. This book is treated as one of the epic which is associated with the public administration. Now here in Kaudilya's Arthashastras, his concepts like importance of king, qualities of king, nature of the state, how the importance of country, which should be fertile and self-sustainable, and fort, importance of friendly allies, and the importance he is giving to spies. All this we can connect with the present scenario in one way or the another way. For example, king, he should be a welfare-oriented person who should be kind to his subjects, that is citizens or his natives, where he has to, his primary objective is should be welfareism. But Kautilya system, he is more centralization is there, but he has given the qualities of king. He has given more importance to the qualities of the king. So with respect to that, now when coming to this, he is stating about importance of ministers. That is a bureaucracy which should assist the king in his way of administration. And the importance, see, presented a system also, how the devolution of powers, who has more authority, prime ministerial system, cabinet, and the permanent bureaucracy, chief secretary, cabinet secretary. So all this evolution structure in the present day administration also is reflected from this topic. So with respect to this country, self-sufficiency, that it should have fertile land, it should have water, irrigation. When this concept, if you equate it with the existence of a country, there are demands across the globe for various nation states based on ethnicity, language, or different kind of social factors. But the prime, whether when one country or a nation is created, or a state within India, when we are demanding for a new state, whether this is financially viable, resources are there or not, all these are very relevant now also. So that is the aspect. And when it comes to this fort, it can be equated with the present day boundary systems or various protection mechanisms or border fencing. With respect to India, if you see, with respect to India, there are internationally accepted borders where there is less chance for dispute between the neighbors, but there are certain areas which are still under dispute, like line of control, line of actual control. In this area, still that dispute is there. These are unsettled boundaries, which there gives the importance of fort. That is a well settled boundary, a nation state which can protect itself against the enemy, has a sustainable future. So that is the importance, and importance of friendly ally. Friendly ally, if you see, SAR kind of organization where India emphasized a regional cooperation with its neighbors. Even though some neighbors are hostile with India, India tried to come with such an organization mechanism through which it tried to maintain a strategically dealing with the neighbors, not only with neighbors, Quad, various kind of organization, I2U2, in various way, India government is maintaining a friendly bilateral relation with nations for its own benefits and its mutual benefits, and this kind of concepts Kautilya has already stated. And with respect to with respect to our nation's power, nuclear deterrence, that is one of this concept where the nation state is powerful. We have weapon system so that no one will touch us. It's a kind of deterrence, that military. So importance of army, how we are empowering the army, the recent schemes like Agnipath kind of schemes where technological modernization of army is given importance. So these all areas, in what all ways, if you study the Arthashastra, it has relevance today. So in this way, reflections, these examples, all this has to be given to substantiate your answer. This is the way we have to approach this area. And Mughal administration, it is given very much importance because Mughals, when it comes to Mughals, they have introduced many administrative reforms like Mansabdari system, their provincial administration, the way how they, the policies of Akbar, and all this system, how, because every system during a particular period of a sultanate or kingdom or anything may be a solution for a particular problem. So that wise king or the sultan may have encountered a problem. So this particular system or the revenue, anything that may be a solution for that day's problems, which can be visible still today. So that may be a continuing historical practice till it may have reflection with the present day system. So this comparative analysis between this questions can be expected with the comparative analysis, present day how it is reflected. All this is part of this Mughal administration, and of course legacy of British rule, because British system is more or less now relevant. We can compare the present system because when it comes to Constituent Assembly, we are we framed our constitution based on best practices, and we believe that it is a somewhat a tailor fit model for our system. It is evolved actually. So many features are adopted from Government of India Act 1935 and the British system of bureaucracy, military organization. Now there were examples that this we introduced a new flag for Indian Navy. So now indigenization and many abolition of cantonments, many practices, some factors we adopted, but some we modified. The role of civil services, how the British created civil services, what necessitated British to create civil services, how was the police organization during British time, and their objectives may be different, but the organization structure we have adopted with modifications. So such kind of things. And with respect to how we improvised the system, but that various acts with British came up to solve all this, that may be with respect to their history, their colonial interest, but that system has evolved in India. So, and now also through various legislations and various other executive actions, we may be changing certain British practices, but that legacy is there, still there. Okay, so first part is mostly static, but that have relevance today. Okay, so that is with respect to first part. Then it comes to the second section, that is government policy intervention of development in various sectors. Very important section. Now, since you people may be preparing, you people may be studying various government schemes and initiatives, policy measures, both central and state government, they are aimed at establishing a welfare state. So in this way, government has came up with various policies after independence, and again they will improvise to achieve the common goal of welfareism or social development. Now it is an era of sustainable development. Now people are facing this heat and that climate change. It is raining in USA, it is not raining here, sorry, in UAE, because climate change is a problem now. So sustainable development and sustainability, consideration of environment while framing policies, all these are very important now. So various government intervention for development. social development, economic growth, creation of wealth, penetration of wealth. So overall, we have to assess the various schemes, policies associated with all government activities we have to analyze here, and their impacts, their drawbacks, how effective this one is, what are the way forward. All this we have to discuss, and this will be done since the program is for mains answer writing. So it will be taught in a exam tailored way. So that is the approach I am going to adopt in this area. So mostly this is a very, even the syllabus seems very single 1 or 2 lines, but this is very vast area where more scopes are there. Value addition is more possible in this area. Since the Andhra government is more welfare oriented government, being a more enhanced provider to the citizens through various schemes like this Navaratnalu schemes, and government is touching on one or the other way various aspects, social aspects, economic aspects of the citizens, and for the overall growth. So schemes like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the beautiful schemes actually. If you travel across Hyderabad, since I am being in Hyderabad, I have noticed near to this Necklace Road, Awas Yojana flats and this 2 BHK housing projects. Even in Instagram, this during this election, these parties were promoting all these things. So all these are visible changes. And this slum clearance board related housing projects and Jal Jeevan mission. Now drinking water is one of the most important necessity of a citizen. So fixing the gap wherever there may be regional variations with respect to water availability. Water may be surplus in one area, water may not be, and the restoration of old irrigation systems through Mission Kakatiya kind of schemes, Mission Bhagirath of Telangana government, and Kalishuram project kind of which will support irrigation and agriculture. So these all policies should be, it is a solution for a certain set of problems like vaccination, Mission Indradhanush. So there are certain schemes under different verticals which is an intervention by the government to bring the change. Okay, so this area and various issues, implementation issues. Actually, one day I happened to be in Karnataka, where I went with one of my friend. He is a bank employee, senior manager. So we went for the Swanidhi scheme auction mela. So there actually I happened to see a huge crowd. It's a street vendor empowerment scheme where people are getting money for enhancing their street vending businesses. So in that scheme, the body which has the right to designate a person as a street vendor was the local body of Karnataka, that is a Bengaluru corporation. The people took bribe and they did some activities. I happened to listen. I am from the people. I examined why it was so crowded there. So they are told that municipal authorities are giving. Maybe there is a loophole that the right person may not be getting the benefit, wrong person maybe. Because actually, I don't know. I haven't verified it on ground, but people opinion like this. So there are certain schemes which may be targeted, but it may go to the wrong person. So issues are still there because we are an evolving country. Still, the nation is under building only. So one more thing is that in this kind of schemes, certain schemes which may not be tailor fit to a particular region, so that needs improvement. So in this all aspects, questions can be expected. And now the intervention by DBT, that is beneficiaries are getting money direct, and how it is impacting their social life, how whether they are investing like Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, whether this public is utilizing the money for investing in agriculture or they are using it for private consumption. And various schemes of Telangana government like supporting women for marriage. So all these schemes, definitely there will be advantages, but there will be certain limitations. So a multi-dimensional approach with respect to various interventions is needed to answer this area. So These are the schemes. I'm just telling in surface level only. In classes, it will be dealt in detail. So now, next is coming to the role of non-government stakeholders. That is the third area, where the thing is like that. The role of civil society. Civil society is one of the main civil stakeholder in development activities. Their power to make the government fall in line is well known. Like the case of Lokpal agitation by Anna Hazare. You people may be knowing this, that civil society's active involvement in this movement even resulted in the fall of a government. So in these kind of things, the role of civil society in bringing changes to the society, because at the end of the day, the government has to listen to the people only. This kind of organization knows how efficient should be a government initiative and how it should impact to the people. What are the limitations? Everything can be analyzed by these kind of organizations activities. If you tell in historically, since I am being from Kerala, there was we were part of Travancore Kingdom before merging. That united Kerala was born. So at that time, the bureaucracy, since Travancore Kingdom, even though they were allies with the British government, they have a certain degree of autonomy. So the bureaucracy was mostly dominated by Tamil Brahmins. So this Malayalis, which were kept out of the system, they did something called a Malayali Memorial, and they submitted referendum to the Diwan to include more Malayalis inside the bureaucracy. So historically, if you see, there is a major role played by the civil societies in bringing changes. So that is one aspect. And with respect to NGO, now it is a controversy and evergreen topic because of FCRA regulations. The activities of NGOs are controlled mostly by the government. Government is using FCRA to regulate it because we have various challenges. We can't completely blame the government. There are challenges that these NGOs may be funding certain movements which is against the interest of the country, like Kudangulam protest and all. So there should be a checks and balance, but with respect to NGO, they have a very important role to play in our system. So NGOs, mostly what is happening is that their role is diverse. They may be active in various sectors, and their activities may be more in certain areas where government agencies failed. They have done a wonderful job. So NGOs are very much part of the system, but there also multi-dimensional approach is needed. Their role, what are their limitations, how can we empower them, how can we came up with solutions to avoid this kind of foreign players indulging into our own internal matters, and how this play even with respect to the port development, certain port developments, many other infra projects. There are chances that our enemy countries can utilize this opportunity using this kind of NGOs and funding them to derail the particular project. So national interest, how through various legislations or various recommendations, how can we protect the national interest? All this comes under this area of role of NGOs and other stakeholders. That's also I have already told. There are pressure groups. Now, if you listen, you people may be noticing Maratha reservation agitation. Before that, previous time it was this Patel agitation, reservation agitations. All these are pressure groups using their community backup. They may be pressurizing the government to get certain objectives done. So that's also needed, because as a collective effort, when it comes to comes as a collective effort, there are chances that government will listen to it. So in a democracy, all these are needed. And unions and political parties, role of political parties. India, it is a multi-party system where anyone can form a party, anyone can grab power, because the solution to certain problems is through grabbing power. You people are aware, you people experienced it with the coming of Telugu Desam party in 1983, because the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, when it was united, there were many issues. So these social problems like Telangana agitation, Jai Andhra movement, all these were there. So one party led by the famous actor Ramarao, he came to power. So he is free in this country to form it because he has a certain objective. So to achieve the objective, he went forward with a mass mobilization and he created a party, Telugu Desam Party, and they grabbed the power. And then as a political party, now if you see the example of a recent actor Pawan Kalyan's Janasena, all this being what to say, they have that space in the system to come with a certain objective, grab power. They are putting the mandate in front of the people. NTR put the mandate in front of the people, and he got the mandate to rule. Okay, so in that way, political parties are also part of this. So they are very important. So in this development process, collectively, if everyone performs their role better only, we will achieve the objectives of our nation, what our forefathers, our constitutional framers have their vision. If we need to implement, means we have to collectively work for all these objectives. So here also there is a lot of scopes for assessing their activities, how effective, what are the limitations, recommendation. In this answer paper also, value addition fetches you mark. Here everyone has a static content with them. When you are approaching it with recent examples and case studies, best global practices, all this will ensure good marks for you. So in that way, this also will be done in an exam oriented approach only in classes. So that is the thing. And when it comes to the other part, statutory, regulatory, and various quasi judicial authorities, here you people are now in it's a polity topic also. In this statutory organizations which are created with the law, parliamentary law. So in this one, if you take the example of National Human Rights Commission, the role now they are playing in protecting the human rights in this country, or with respect to what do you say, this Commission for Minorities, all this comes under the statutory bodies where they have given a mandate and they are performing. How effective is this one? These all are case studies, individual case studies, where their effectiveness, their limitations, their drawbacks, way forward, committee recommendation, all this has to be dealt in detail. And regulatory bodies like TRI, even I faced one cyber attack 1 week before. One lady called to my phone and is telling your number, one of your number is using in Bombay, in Bandra station, and one case has been registered in Bandra station. Whether you have traveled to Bombay. I don't know, I am in office only Hyderabad, so how I will travel? So I understood that the TRI is not going to do this kind of things. It's a scam actually. So I cut the phone. So the role of TRI, now various bodies are there: Director General of Civil Aviation, Competition Commission of India. So all this how, because after post liberalization, government is a facilitator. So multiple businesses, when we are opening up something to the private sector, the government has the primary responsibility to check the check and balances in the system. So government is a facilitator, and the check and balance role of government is done through various this kind of organizations. They are empowered, they have quasi judicial powers in some cases. So all this is giving a vast scope for developing multiple questions, because those bodies which are in news or that has a potential to appear, they will be there are more chances that they will be in the question paper. So that is the area. It's a very vast area. The discussion will take more time, so I'm just giving some hints. And role of civil services, so this is the area where everyone will be aspiring to reach this post. So role of civil services, it is a backbone of our system. because they are permanent. They are not going to change. Political party may change, ideology may change, but the system should go on. So in that way, that show should go on. For that the purpose, it's a steel frame of India, and there also various reforms are pending. Some reforms are implementing. Government is taking some initiatives like Mission Karma Yogi. There are best one committee report, and recently there was a comment by this economic advisor that youth is wasting their productive time in preparation of this kind of exams. So, but it is a very important administrative structure in the system, so that people have to we have to assess it properly. What are the way forwards? How can we improvise the system? So lot of scope in this area. The questions can come somewhat deep. Questions can be very static, but that should have the backup of recent examples, case studies. If you see, yesterday I happened to see one example with respect to whistleblower. This whistleblower is one of the important role that civil society has to play. In that, it was a news with respect to Tamil Nadu. In that, actually, the news was one person calling to police control room of Tamil Nadu police, and he is telling that, sir, I have exposed one illegal alcohol gang in the nearby police station, but the police, what they did is they gave my number to that illegal gang, and now they are behind me. I am somehow safe. I am hiding in a forest area. So please help me. He is talking with the police authorities. But what happened is their response is that, okay, they are asking him from which district you are, which taluk you are, which village you are, and what is your police station. He tell that police station only I informed, and now I am in trouble. So how the system protects a whistleblower? So limitations and the role of civil service in integrity of that officer, how he failed to do his role, and many IAS officers and IPS officers who got targeted because of their honest act, and many officers who did corruption, like recent news about a lady doing 100 for scam somewhere in Madhya Pradesh. So role of civil service is very important in this democracy. So here also multi-dimensional approach is needed. And the next thing is good governance. That is a positive aspect. How efficient is the governance? How the people are governed? There is a law established. There are systems. There are organizations. There are administrative machinery. Everything is put in place. But how efficient is the system? And what are the various dimensions of good governance? How that administration is bringing economic growth? How it is affecting environment when various executive actions are taken? How it is changing the people's life? So all this comes under this good governance, and how far the efficiency of that government system. What are the improvements? What are the limitations? What all this is listed under this one. And e-governance, very important area. Very important area. Digital India, that we are hearing often. Even this election time also, we are hearing it a lot. Digital India. So it is a West initiative. Even that will that should bring down the digital divide between the citizens. And it is a way of transparency. Even if you people see this social media, how social media has bypassed the mainstream media, and how various issues which was neglected by the mainstream media was taken up. But it has disadvantages also. But the digital divide, where the citizen has and the right to internet, right to access to internet, all this comes, it is making the system transparent. One mobile phone is enough to break or expose one corruption. So in that way, citizens are empowered, and various government initiatives, government citizens to government interaction, government to government interaction, various initiatives taken, how it is impacting the life of people, and what are the major achievements, what are the drawbacks. how this infrastructure bottlenecks and providing facilities in with respect to geographical aspects, economical, social, illiteracy, how digitally illiterate are people, how it is bringing more transparency. All these are there. See, now it is voting. India is voting. If you see, I have already voted since I am from Kerala. Mostly Kerala will vote around 70, 75. But mostly Kerala, the remaining people are not there. They are already migrants. And some people, there may be apolitical people. But that human development and information penetration, when I observed in this booth, people are voluntarily coming in because transportation facilities, all facilities are there. It is much better state. But people are voluntarily coming to exercise their voting right. So that development, that holistic development will strengthen the democracy further. That's my personal view. So if you see the trend, most the states with the high human development may have more voting, but there is exception to cities. Cities will be, when my friend, he was he was on election duty, he told Bengaluru in his place it was only 50%, remaining people didn't vote. So that also has to be addressed. So e-governance is one of the solution for citizen empowerment and reducing corruption. Now the consider the case of DBT. Even Rajiv Gandhi told that if 1 rupee is sent, only 10 paise reaches the beneficiary. But now, if 1 rupee is sent, it will directly reach your bank account. JAM, importance of JAM. This Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, how financial inclusion has helped in reducing corruption, how the services are reaching to the people, how using the technology we can reduce and achieve that motto of minimum government, maximum governance. So this kind of initiative, how the citizen can be proactive through MyGov kind of thing. The citizen is interacting with the top layer of the administration, how they are empowered using these kind of mechanisms. And Me Seva Kendra, all this kind of citizen service deliveries, everything comes under e-governance and is very important. Now government is exploring, even I heard that Tamil Nadu government is exploring blockchain technology kind of things to improve the administration. So it is a digital era, it is a AI world where definitely every government will adopt this kind of practices to improve efficient delivery of services to the people. And there are limitations that this digital world is not safe, hacking, this loss of personal data. So all these kind of things are also there, and huge digital divide between certain section of the people, and in certain part of country it is very difficult to implement because of their geography or their regional backwardness. So such challenges are also there. In overall, it is a very good initiative to bring accountability, transparency, and response, because now it is very difficult. The world is more open to all this. People are more aware about various developments happening across the globe. The system itself is somewhat transparent. So best practices across the globe, there we can connect it with this activities of civil society, where better empowered citizen will always bring good to the society. So in that way, e-governance is helping and in improving the system. And this citizen empowered things like citizen charter, RTI, Public Service Act, which is actually empowering the citizen, making the system more transparent. All this has to be will be dealt in detail. And social audit, Grama Sabha, the concept of how effective Grama Sabhas are there, how they are providing better services and better auditing the various development work like Manrega, all kind of this government initiatives, and empowering decentralization more to bring more social change, because that local bodies and that local representatives understand that local reality better. So better service delivery, and it is a way of empowering citizens to make their government accountable. So all these are very important. So huge scope. There are many major themes and various verticals where questions can be expected. Okay, so this is the syllabus, a brief analysis of the syllabus. The subject will be dealt in detail. When it comes to the subject, other examples will be explained. Now with the references, actually our team is working on this governance even for AP programs. So we are mostly referring to IGNOU materials and various reports, government websites. So one particular book I can't suggest. It's a area where you people have to research a lot to enrich your answer. So we will be guiding how to take it, how precise you people can read the data, and how can it be better presented. So that will be there. IGNOU material is mostly we are using, and various reports, government websites for schemes. So like that, newspaper, all this is the references. Now questions. Here also I will be discussing the themes only. The questions will have less chance to come as such. That questions will be dealt in the class in detail. So welfare states in Kautilya's ideas. I already told his view, how, what's the role of king, how the system should be, how that welfare state will bring the stability. That is, if the state now also, during his period also, if the citizens are happy and there is a social order, the kingdom will be stable. Go to our neighborhood examples like Afghanistan or Pakistan. How this more social, more religious pressure, everything is affecting that growth of the system. Even we listen to Pakistan's one lawmaker, I think he has how he commented about India, how far we have gone, because we are born on the same day, but how far we have gone, how, what are their limitations, what are our success stories, all this is there. So welfare state where this socially, educationally, economically disadvantaged people and marginalized sections, how various policies will help them to come to the mainstream, and the India's case studies, all these are relevant. And in Western Europe also, people know that the birth of democracy there, how this various kings become just nominal heads rather than be the real authority. What was the role of church, how the role of church diminished. Now if you see, it is a well enlightened society where people, I heard that my many friends are there in Europe and this kind of developed world. People won't go even to churches, and so that the religiosity came down. So social development, the birth of various ideas. So even we can find these things in even Arthashastra. So a comparative based of question. And the present day, I already told in this discussion itself, Indian bureaucracy and British administration. Present day Indian bureaucracy, how it is reflecting, how the structure, army structure, and what are the changes we brought. So all this I have already. It's very important theme actually. And next one is government's intervention development. Atma Nirbhar Bharat, that is Make in India. That's we are listening to this for the last 10 years. Government is focusing more in defense now. There are examples. Vande Bharat kind of trains, how it is enhancing the travel experience. So various initiatives with respect to Atmanirbhar Bharat, because import, if we rely on import more, how it is affecting our sovereignty is a question. When we have to depend on an external service provider, see the case of S-400 missile system, and the way how we are depending on Russia for a technology. Once we bought the system, it need maintenance, technology transfer. This all will compromise our security and our sovereignty. So in that way, how Atmanirbhar initiative or India, how India can achieve self-sufficient innovation, various government schemes like Atal Tinkering Labs, how we are focusing on education like PM Sri schools, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, and various initiatives by state governments like Mana Uru, Mana Badi. So in this kind of schemes and Amma Vodi kind of schemes to help. So making India making India through skill enrichment, our government want to make us a talent society with more talent pools. So we have to bring back our best brains, which are part of various organizations across the globe. So if India want to grow and we want to eradicate poverty, it's must. India has to achieve the growth. First, create wealth. Then through various government intervention, we have to redistribute the wealth. That is a sustainable model across the world. So for that, we have to be self-reliant, more innovations, everything is needed. So in that way, and various government initiatives supporting these things. Okay. So now it comes to civil service reforms in India, that recent lateral entry scheme and Beswan committee report. So kind of many reports are there. So in that context, significance of reform, because now the bureaucracy, if you see, since you people are from UPSC, many people maybe have prepared for UPSC, that introduction of CSAT, because the bureaucrats, the present day bureaucrats need to learn this global language of English, because now the world is more globalized and we are exposed to the world. Our bureaucracy is not restricted within our boundaries. They are exposed to the world. So how we have to interact with the world, creating better ties, and how it will help in India's growth. So all that way, and the changing nature of administration, how the technology is impacting. So it is a very dynamic structure which needs reform. So in that way, we have to discuss it in detail. And Right to Information Act, that is part of this Aruna Roy's initiatives and all. So that is also very important, that these things will be dealt in detail in classes. And NGO in promoting human rights, Amnesty International and all that, how they are helping, because they are standing on the ground. They know how to target. When they are performing on the right way, they will help this marginalized people to come to mainstream through various interventions, and how they should be empowered through local funding. Now, with respect to this, because of certain NGOs misusing this foreign fund, there are more restrictions brought on this NGOs getting a foreign fund. So how we can empower, how the society can build trust upon this NGOs, so that they will get local funding based on their activities. So such kind of things are very relevant. And quasi-judicial nature of administrative tribunals, how these tribunals help in reducing the workload of courts and the roles they can play in the society. So all this can be very important aspects. And integrity of civil services is more an ethical kind of question. So how efficient and how integral should be our civil service, and how can we bring more changes, more and such way forward and suggestions, and how to check corruption, that their payment scale, all these details should be taken into account, because if better rewarded means there is chance for less corruption. Like in private sector, someone who is doing equivalent job of a district collector may be getting 10 times higher than his salary. So there is disparity even in lower bureaucracy. Police, they may be getting maybe getting minimal salaries. So all this should be addressed. I'm telling only one aspect of this. There are other factors which is leading to corruption. So that corruption is one of the main issue for India. So in that way, and the citizen charter movement and its various suggestions how to improve it. So all this are static area which has to be dealt in classes. And dimensions of governance, I have already told what are the different dimensions: legal dimensions, this political dimensions, environmental dimensions, economic dimensions. So it is also to be dealt in detail. Okay. And administrative dimensions of government and its various components. All these are static questions. Now 2018 question. Static questions will be relevant, but themes are more important. So I will be focusing most on these themes and how to make the question and how to twist the keywords for bringing relevance to the present situation. So static questions will be relevant, but now since the exam is more competitive, I think I am expecting, I'm predicting more analytical questions than static questions. Okay, so development, public administration, the direct question, administrative ideas of Kautilya, Sardar Shastra, and comparing it with Mughal administration, how the system, because from a particular period to a particular period, there may be changes. There may be a huge changes in economical and social factors of the citizen. So different form, whether it may be a kingdom, British or Mughal, may be looking for an administrative system or style which is suiting or which is better equipped to deal with the problems of that. And there are exploitative aspects also, but in administration generally I am telling. Okay, so that is there. And Amartya Sen's model of human development, no, merely not economic development, but along with that, human development should happen. So his contributions all should be done. And this area, that is sustainable development, UN sustainable development goals, how India is framing various policies and various schemes targeting various sustainable development goals, how India is improving in our Niti Aayog's based on the Niti Aayog's recommendations, we are coming with various schemes which will address and will attain certain sustainable development goal with respect to human development. So there are various examples we can connect with this thing. Okay, now RTI. So it's a direct question mostly with respect to RTI. Statutory bodies with examples. That's already I have just briefly told. Quasi-judicial bodies, how they are performing. Now, Competition Commission of India, how it should ensure a fair market practice. Because India is growing, India is expected to become the third largest economy. So more economic activity, more economic crimes, tax evasion, so all kind of things should be dealt with the proper intervention by the government using this various execute this regulatory and quasi-judicial bodies, and this is a need of the hour. So the system is very dynamic, it is changing, fast changing actually. Now e-governance strategy, I already told to say evergreen area, we can write a lot in this area, and the scope of generating more questions is more in this section. Okay, and major government intervention in the social sector with the special of health and education. Ayushman Bharat is one of the example, because it was because in when comparing across India, that better quality primary health sector was that's a problem. So to bridge the gap, government came with such a scheme, insurance or universal insurance coverage scheme, so that people can even take health facilities outside government hospitals, in better hospitals for better treatment. So it's one of the best initiative. And then with respect to YSR Arogyasri kind of schemes, okay, even the states are also contributing now. Majority of governments are coming with their own scheme, enhancing this Ayushman Bharat. So all that things. And education, we can see Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, how it is improvised, and now new education policy, how government is focusing on vocational education. So PM Sri schools, new Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, Egalavya Vidyalayas, many are there, and new IITs, IIMs, AIMS. So all this is a Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. So all is there, and medical colleges, facilities, Mission Indradhanush, all are there. Okay, so this is a section. It is actually a very syllabus. I already told syllabus is looks very brief, but it is கொஞ்சம் extensive area. So scope for dynamic questions is more in this area. Static questions can also be expected along with this dynamism in this question paper. So mostly our strategy is adopting this reverse engineering technique, in which various themes will be selected, and based on the themes we will be working on various twisting with various keywords, and that class will be dealt. Not you people may not be getting the complete content, because that's for a fresher. The one who is going to write the mains needs more approaches. So in that way will be subject will be dealt. That remaining value addition, we may be listing certain value addition, but remaining is the responsibility of the aspirant to work on this and enhance your own answer. Okay, so that is for today. If any doubt means please ask online also. Okay. So our strategy will be purely based on reverse engineering technique only. So this is the book we have published. We have collected quality PYQs and have listed based on subject wise, and you people can refer. It will help. Okay. So no doubts, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone.